During his visit to China, Bangladesh's interim chief Muhammad Yunus made a direct pitch to Beijing. Yunus urged Beijing to make the ocean-facing part of Bangladesh an extension of the Chinese economy. In a video that went viral on social media, Yunus urged the Chinese government to set up its economic base in the country while saying that Dhaka was the only guardian of the ocean in that region.
Eastern part of India, called Seven Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy, build things, produce things, market things, bring things to China, bring it out to the whole rest of the world. That's a production house for you. So that's the opportunity we should seize and we should implement, we should get it done. Nepal has unlimited hydropower, which is a blessing. Bhutan has unlimited hydropower. That's a blessing. We can bring it to our purpose, to our setting up our factories and so on. And from Bangladesh, you can go anywhere you want because the ocean is in our backyard. So this is the opportunity that we want to take. And not necessarily it will be something you produce and sell it to the world. You can produce in Bangladesh, sell it to China too.
Earlier, Yunus also said that it's important for Bangladesh to see China as a good friend. Wrapping up his visit, Yunus said that he expects a new phase of ties between China and Bangladesh. The move could spell further tensions for India. The Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean region are strategically important for India's safety and sovereignty. And any Chinese presence could pose a significant threat to India. We have my colleague Sandeep Unidan, editor of News9 Plus, now joining us. Sandeep, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the broadcast to talk to us. These statements, look at the directness of it all. He's literally saying, you know, it's an extension of China's economy, and you're talking about a region that's so strategically crucial to India.
Absolutely, Krishna, and the fact is that, it is the point that he mentioned about India's Seven Sisters being landlocked that actually should worry New Delhi, because this has been one of our geopolitical Achilles heels, the fact that our seven northeastern states are landlocked, and that's the reason that we've reached out to Bangladesh in the past under Sheikh Hasina. We've got access to Chittagong, the ports of Bangladesh, and of course there is that very vital Siliguri corridor, Krishna, the fact that you have just 20 kilometers of Indian territory separating India from Bhutan. It's called the Chicken's Neck for a very strategic reason. I think a lot of people will be looking very closely at the Chicken's Neck because that is the only sliver of Indian territory that separates Bhutan from Bangladesh. And the fact that he mentioned India's vulnerabilities there should have a lot of eyebrows being raised in New Delhi, particularly given the fact that this comes a few days before the BIMSTEC summit that's set to begin in Bangkok on the 5th of April. There is, of course, a question mark for different reasons over the summit because of the earthquake. But now with Muhammad Yunus pitching China, asking China to become more involved in the Northeast, roping in Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh minus India, that should worry policymakers here in New Delhi, Krishna.
Should worry policymakers in New Delhi, says Sandeep. Sandeep, stay with us. Let's again listen into what exactly Muhammad Yunus had to say on his visit to Beijing.
Eastern part of India, called Seven Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy, build things, produce things, market things, bring things to China, bring it out to the whole rest of the world. That's a production house for you. So that's the opportunity we should seize and we should implement, we should get it done. Nepal has unlimited hydropower, which is a blessing. Bhutan has unlimited hydropower. That's a blessing. We can bring it to our purpose, to our setting up our factories and so on. And from Bangladesh, you can go anywhere you want because the ocean is in our backyard. So this is the opportunity that we want to take. And not necessarily it will be something you produce and sell it to the world. You can produce in Bangladesh, sell it to China too.
That was the direct pitch of Muhammad Yunus. Sandeep, not only does that pitch involve Bhutan and Nepal cooperating with Bangladesh, we're also talking about Bangladesh at a stage where the relationship between India and Bangladesh have gone from bad to worse ever since Muhammad Yunus took charge of the country. And this is clearly displaying where he wants Bangladesh to be, where he wants the proximity to be, and that's not with India, it is with China. The question here is that, what will happen to Nepal and Bhutan in the process?
Absolutely, Krishna. There's a big statement there from Muhammad Yunus, and the fact is that he seems to be pitching for some kind of CPAC kind of project for Bangladesh. The CPAC, of course, being the China-Pakistan economic corridor that extends from China to Pakistan and gives China access to the Arabian Sea. And here he seems to be pitching for another CPAC equivalent which leads China into the Bay of Bengal. Now, the Bay of Bengal is a very, very big area of concern for India, given the fact that it is where a number of Indian naval bases are located. That is from where our nuclear submarines, our strategic fleet operates out of. And China has been making steady inroads into Bangladesh. It doesn't have overland connectivity to Bangladesh, but it has been building up building up Bangladesh's maritime infrastructure. It's built a submarine base near Chittagong. Believe it or not, it's called the BNS Sheikh Hasina. I'm not sure if the name still exists, but that is China for you in our backyard, in our strategic backyard. That should cause a lot of worry. The fact that Yunus is now pitching for a CPAC equivalent for Bangladesh, for China to access the Bay of Bengal directly. He, of course, brings Nepal in, he brings Bhutan in, and of course Bangladesh. But the interesting part is the last part of his statement there, Krishna, where he mentions that he asked the Chinese to remove the impediments, whatever impediments they may exist in the path of this kind of a project. And that possibly is a clear reference to India being the impediment there, because there is Indian territory. He forgets that all of those landlocked states that he mentioned, the Seven Sisters, that is something that comes between Bangladesh, Bhutan and Nepal. So he's talking of impediments. The jury is out on what he means exactly by that, of course.
The jury is out on what he means by that. Also, this will again, we are just moving back from really terrible times as far as the relationship with China is concerned. And now, there is more spanner in the works when it comes to resetting that relationship, so to speak.
Absolutely, Krishna. China and India relations are back on track. There's talk of an economic relationship resuming after the border settlement, the agreement to demilitarize the border or de-escalate from those two last remaining flashpoints of the last 5 years. But that is one part of the picture. The other one is China's consistent aims to access the Bay of Bengal. It's got access to the Arabian Sea, of course, through Pakistan, but access to the Bay of Bengal is going to be one very key strategy that the Chinese have been negotiating for the last couple of years. And here's Muhammad Yunus opening up Bangladesh, saying that we are open for China to come in, become an extension of the Chinese economy, and please remove impediments in the path. We can all be one big BIMSTEC minus India.
One big BIMSTEC minus India. In that sense, India right now has to start recalibrating its relationship with both China and Bangladesh, isn't it, Sandeep? It's a crucial time, and it'll be interesting to see what India's Ministry of External Affairs does at this stage, and what, in fact, the Indian administration does.
Absolutely, Krishna. And in fact, the questions that would be raised is that Muhammad Yunus is not an elected government official. He is a chief advisor, and he seems to be conducting foreign policy, economic policy, political decisions of the last couple of months, without being legitimately elected into office. And this is the question that we have all been raising in the MEA has been asking this, and even the Bangladesh opposition parties, the BNP and the Awami League have been asking, how is it that an unelected official, this chief advisor, is sitting over there and taking decisions of such sweeping nature that could actually alter the geography, the geopolitics of Bangladesh. These questions of legitimacy of Muhammad Yunus and his office are something that is likely to be raised in the coming days, Krishna.
Sandeep Unnidan, editor of News9 Plus, joining us for that big story that we're tracking. Thank you, Sandeep, for being with us.
Pleasure to be here.